Hi, hope you're well. I've been on for a little while. I'm back again now. Had a few things to do. Um, what we're talk about is the mindset of an alcoholic. It's quite a complicated subject, really, but when you're drinking too much, your mindset is totally different to when you're sober. Because you have this like internal battle, really. It's conflict, isn't it? You want to get sober, but you can't, and you've got two minds, really. Haven't you? You've got a rational mind, you've got a drinker's mind, and your rational mind is saying, you're hurting yourself. You should stop. And the addict's mind saying, well, it's not too bad. You can minimize all this. You can be, um, you can be a normal drinker. You can't be a normal drinker. You can't. You can't just um, switch from being, not only being a social drinker. You can't do that again. Um, so you've got to think about that and wonder what was going on in your mind. Because for years I minimised it and I thought, well, I haven't got a problem. But I had a problem. And every time I thought, well, this is too dangerous, I used to think, well, I'm going to, I've got to cut down. But you never do, do you? You never do. It's an internal conflict all the time, all the time. Because you know when you drink too much because you start to feel unwell, you lose your energy, you haven't got the wherewithal about you to get off it sometimes because you feel so weak. It's a very dangerous substance. It makes you feel very down. You lose all sense of um, all sort of sense of focus, really, and you will never turn it around unless you really work hard at it. Um, and it's one of them things where you kind of concentrate on going forward because you sort out from the addiction. That's another problem. Uh, the thing is that you cannot really get over it unless you get some help. To be honest with you, it's one of these things where you must you must focus all the time. You've got to focus all the time. Quentin, Steve, is your life now fulfilled? 100%. Yeah, very, very busy now. I've never been busier. Or happier, to be honest with you. Because the only thing I can't do now is drink. I don't want to drink. It'd be nice to think, oh, I can go and drink and I'll have a great time. But what would happen is I have one or two and I'd be drinking the bar dry and then the cycle will continue. I can't have that coming. I can't go back to that sort of thing. Hello, Silver. Nice to see you. You have to be sensible about it. And it's a killer, isn't it? It's a killer. But it is weird how I read this about the other day about the rationalization of it and how for years or something I knew it's doing me harm, but I still try it. Even after long periods of sobriety, I would still try one or two. Um, Quentin, that's good to hear you say that. Yeah, very fulfilled. I've never been fulfilled when I've been drinking. I was don't know what I was chasing, to be honest with you. Just a habit. I think a habit turns into an addiction. That's the problem, isn't it? And once you're addicted, then it's hard to turn things around and become, I would say, a normal person, really, because you have all this conflict all the time. I'm not as bad as that person. I'll be all right. I feel stressed about it, but I still like to drink. I wanted to relax and all this nonsense that you come out with. And we all do it. Hi, Samara. How you doing? I think I would have been worse off if I was a civilian. Been drinking in between going to sea with forced withdrawals every time we sailed. No drinking at sea. I didn't know that. Yeah, I thought in the navy you got allowed a bit of a ration. Maybe it might be different on the submarine, mind. Um, but yeah, Surrey Street maybe. I mean, wasn't forced. I was in the police. Well, they call it service now. It was police force in our joint. I was quite closely monitored, but a lot of people drank. It was part of the course really to drink in the police. It was just well, not just the police fire service, the armed service, the solicitors, barristers, all sorts of people drank. Uh, in the 80s and 90s, it was just a done thing, wasn't it? It's still a done thing now, to be honest, isn't it? But yeah, you might be right. That's wrong. Quentin, what is normal? Sometimes we have different barriers to overcome. I think a normal drinker is a person who wants to drink rather than needs one. Um, and if you sort of need one and you start to have hair of the dog and you get to the point where you cannot function properly, um, then you've got a problem. You know, so normal is being able to have a few and control it. Abnormal is when you need a drink to function. Basically, I would say. Andy, how you doing? I so want to stop. I'm 5 bottles of wine a day. Jesus Christ. Um, have a good life. Two lovely kids and job normally worries, but I'm always saying next week I don't like where I'm going. Okay, that's a lot of gear that Andy. It really is. If you want some help with this, there's my number. If anybody else wants any help or advice, text me that number or WhatsApp me. I'll get back to you. 5 bottles is a lot of gear. I don't have any medical issues yet, but it's not good. Hello, Martin. Top of the evening to you, to one and all. Oh, Trans, how are you? Newcastle? Are you okay? Anybody? Yes, I'm Newcastle. Not far from Newcastle. Football ground, actually. So, Mara, I couldn't drink when we would dive. I've got you. We had 3 cans a day if we were on the surface, spent most of the time underwater. Understand? Yes, interesting. Andy, thanks for that. Hello, all my magpie. I haven't been on for a few days. I've been getting a bit of work done on the property and been doing other things, but I'm going to try and focus on getting back a few times a week. I think it helps people to, it's a bit of support, isn't it? Different to AA. I've heard various reports about AA, but at least we can be open here and have a chat, and it doesn't affect anyone. There's no judgment here. It's just a straightforward chat about anything, really. As long as it's sensible. Trans, I suffer from failed spinal surgery and fibromyalgia. So I use drink to dull the pain, but it makes my mental health worse. I've been in some bad states and on and off over the years. That's unfortunate. I can't give you anything else, isn't it? I know cannabis is used for pain relief, isn't it? That's the problem with alcohol, though. It does affect the mind, doesn't it? It affected my mind a lot more than the body at first, but the body gave up in the end. Our physical health deteriorated hugely. But it's a depressing drug, isn't it? Become depressed. I had a feeling of impending doom all the time. That was a problem with alcohol. It's because it's a depressant, like I say, and it makes you feel rough. It takes your energy away. It'll ruin. We all know this, don't we? But we still do it. That's why the mindset of an alcoholic is an interesting video, I think. Because a mind would have to sort of split personality in a way. But I know one thing: most alcoholics or alcohol dependent people tend to be overthinkers. Worry too much about other people. Don't look after yourself. That's the problem. You can't look after anybody else. Just look after yourself. That's interesting. The doctors obviously know you're using alcohol. Um, there should be something else you can get because once your mental health's gone, you're pretty much knackered, aren't you? Then you get into this cycle of withdrawal and needing a drink to get over the withdrawal, and so it goes on. Quitting A can cost more than a drink at times. I'm all for help, but not wish to be exploited when vulnerable. Yeah. Understand what you're saying, Quentin. Trans, my worst day was 1 litre of whiskey and 3 bottles of wine. Jesus Christ. Next day was the worst I've ever felt. I've tried medical cannabis. It helps, but not much. Alcohol won't help overall, will it? Because it might dull the pain for a while, and it'll come back twice as much as it will on your mental health, then gone as well, isn't it? It's still a one, that, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm not a medic, as I say, but common sense would dictate that alcohol won't help, especially long term. It certainly didn't me. But we do tend to drink when we've got a bit of pain mentally more than anything. Mental pain, isn't it? When you've got, something happens, you lose somebody or lost your job or you've got financial worries, over drinking. Get threatened letters from bailiffs and tell them to fuck off. All this sort of things happen in life. Everyone has problems. But if you don't drink, you've got a better chance of dealing with the problems in a decent way, Jonathan, good evening all. How are you doing? I've made life albeit a little bit late. Well done. No problem. Only a couple of minutes late. We're not really late for anything. It just happens to be 7:30. Sounds I'm from right near Bladen. Oh, no, yeah. Not too far away. near the Metro Centre, isn't it? Yeah. I haven't lived here all my life. I was in Northumberland and then moved to London for a lot of years and was in the Met Police. Back here now. Hello, Brian. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Brian, I used to drink, be social, end up an isolated addict. That's a good line, that. Yeah, we drink, be social, and we end up totally alone, don't we? You lose everything. You lose sight of your life, really. You lose your purpose, you lose your light, you lose your energy, you lose your money. If you got any money, you lose everything. Like I say, it's a good line. You drink to be social and end up alone. Totally, it's like being on a desert island, isn't it? Couldn't even get out. Cheers, Brian. Chance, I've not drunk in 3 months. Your videos helping a few other account too. X200. Excellent. Thanks, Chance. You're doing well. 3 months is good. I couldn't do 3 hours, but I was in the midst of it all. It became more and more of a problem, as we say. It's never easy to just give up something which you used to enjoy as well. A lot of people enjoy drinking stuff. But I got to the point where I medically was unfit to carry on. But don't get to my rock bottom. You don't have to get that low. Hello, Kevin. It's soul destroying. It's a soul destroying drug. It is soul destroying completely. Dr. Enrique, giving up is the hardest thing I've ever tried. Yeah, I agree with that. But the secret of it is to stop off, isn't it? Even after I had lots of problems in hospital, I still thought, I wonder what it's like to try one. Everyone's tried that thought, but you can't have that thought anymore. So I did want to do some one-to-one mentoring and coaching and things. And this guy asked me, what's your secret? Why don't you relapse and all this? And I said to him, I don't relapse because I know I'm going to die. That's a good enough reason not to relapse, isn't it? It's a good enough reason for me not to have the first drink because I'm going to die very soon if I do. And that's the same for a lot of us. If we're dependent, it will take off 25 years of your life. It'll make the rest of your life miserable. So that tiny little bit of a buzz or tiny little bit of pleasure you get will cause you a lot of pain. But when you're medically dependent, I was medically dependent, so self-medicating alcohol, I couldn't get any benzos. I was using alcohol to live. Then you don't enjoy the drink anymore. So when we drink alone because drink is the most important thing. Everything else becomes irrelevant and a pain in the arse. Very true. Very true. Yeah, I agree. It's like it's the only thing we focus on, isn't it? That's the problem. The only thing we focus on. And that's when it gets really difficult. Hi, Samantha. Hope you're well. Nice to see you. Craig, hello, Stephen. I was an alcoholic for 18 years and done 11 weeks sober, but on Friday I relapsed and feel so bad and ashamed. Okay, Craig, don't feel ashamed. Drop me a WhatsApp on this number, and I'll see if I can help you out a little bit. There's links in all the descriptions of the videos as well. It's easy to relapse. A lot of us do it. I did a lot. I relapsed a lot, but it will get worse. Every relapse will make things worse in the long run. So you've got to get off it. When we become a weakness for the drink, although it tricks us to be strong. Well, that's a good point. Frans, I think drinking culture is ingrained in the youth, especially in the UK. 100% agree. Kevin, it's very bad for blood pressure too as we get older. It is. It causes strokes, heart attacks. Most people I know at my age are on blood pressure tablets. I don't take any meds. I'm not blowing on trumpet there, but I don't take any meds because you've got to look after yourself. Eat the right foods and get fit. And obviously stay off the drink. Savannah, great to hear that. Get back in the wagon. You've done 11 months. You know you can do it, of course. Hi, Sam. I was getting benzos off the dark web too. Could have been anything. Mix it with a drink. Days of being a complete zombie. Yeah, you can't trust the internet for anything like that. Could be, like you say, could be anything. Craig, thanks, mate. No problem. My number's on all the descriptions, the videos, or the email. Stephen Alcohol Free Lifestyle at gmail.com. And you can send me a message and I'll get back to you. This is a very dangerous substance, alcohol. It weaves its way into every part of your life and it'll destroy every part of your life. It's not something to be played with. And I don't think that we even take it serious enough. The doctors certainly don't, because they're inundated with problems with people who are drinking too much. Brian, the greatest lies I ever told have been regarding alcohol, mainly to myself. Yes, you convince yourself, don't you? That's what I mean about the mindset of an alcoholic. Your rational side says you better not do this because it's going to harm you, but you minimise that, and you're in constant conflict. Think, well, I might just be all right with one or two. I can control it now. But the truth of the matter is, you can't control it, can you? Because you wouldn't be in a mess if you could control it. That's the problem, isn't it? But you think you can. And one of the most dangerous times is when you've been off the booze for a while and you feel strong. And you feel like, wow, I can have a drink again. But obviously you can't. Thanks for coming on the lives. If you do benefit from these, then please subscribe to the videos and drop a super chat in if you want to support the channel, or buy me a coffee links on the right there. These aren't monetized, so you won't get any adverts. So it flows quite well. Any support's gratefully received. The more support we get, the more we can do. So nobody ever quitted alcohol at the first attempt. Every relapse is a relapse close to sobriety. Good point, yeah. But it gets to get worse, doesn't it? The feelings get worse, I think. Really appreciate the feedback. No problem, Craig. David Young, life is lonely with alcohol. It is very lonely. It's a lonely person's place. It's not a social thing when you get addicted. Dr. Enrique, I really benefit. Thank you. That's no problem. Thanks for your support there. France, gin in the car before work at 7 a.m. and chewing gum to mask the smell was my low point. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Being there, it's so dangerous and it's so aggressive to catch up with you. And as you get older, your hangovers will get worse. And if you do this stop-starting relapse, withdrawals will get worse as well. And you don't get hangovers anymore. You just get straight withdrawal. Well, hi Phil. I just want to say thank you and wish you the very best. Greetings from Switzerland. Thanks so much for that, Swiss francs. Brilliant, Phil. It's nice to see some other Europeans on here. It makes a massive difference to the channel, these support things. And thanks again, Phil. I'm glad you get some benefits from it. We're all here to help, and we all help here. We've all been at different levels of sobriety and alcoholism, and there's a lot of input. There's a lot of clever people on here. And it's not AA. It doesn't need to be. I think it's better than that because it's live and it's more. It's not relying on some higher power. It's just facts. Facts and figures make a difference here. Scientific, isn't it? Really, there's nothing to do with higher power. I don't think. When I was really ill, I wanted some medication. I wanted some help. I wanted some support. I don't want to think about somebody up in the sky. You know what I mean? I'm not being flippant. I'm just explaining my own situation. Hi, Craig. I find my anxiety goes insane a few days after a heavy session. Anxiety was my main problem. Anxiety is a lot of people's problems. And it becomes the pivotal part of the withdrawal, to be honest with you, because the more anxious you get, the more you need to drink to settle that down. And so the cycle begins. So it's like you sleep or comatose after the booze, then you wake up, then you panic, then you drink. Yeah? Sleep, wake up, panic, drink. And that's all you do 24 hours a day when you get really addicted. It's no life, is it? And that's what happens to a lot of people, and they just die alone because they don't get any help. Or they try and cut down, or they try and stop. Now, I didn't know if you just stopped 25 years ago, I didn't know that I'd have a seizure. Nobody ever warned me. It's a bit more aware now, but a lot of people still don't know that you will have a seizure. You've got a very high chance of having a seizure if you're dependent on alcohol and you stop. You've got to taper off. Because I know the NHS, certainly, I know the UK, it's very hard to get any medication. Chance, why do you think a handful of successful sports athletes turn to drink in retirement? This example, Gascar, just chasing that buzz. There's nothing good about it. Yeah, it's true. They've tried anything else, so they try alcohol, and then they move on to other drugs sometimes. Craig, I grew up with social anxiety, so I used alcohol as my coping mechanism. Yeah, it makes it worse, doesn't it? It makes the anxiety more. That's just more of a stress, really. So David, I was absolutely. An alcoholic can be the loneliest person in the pub, having to live with the guilt in front of the moderate drinkers. If only they knew. Well, of course. I mean, we don't know who's suffering, do we? I mean, we walk past pubs all the time, don't we? And think, oh, just have one. We're never going to have one. Once that's finished, once you've got that out of your head, then you're on your way to success, really, to be fair. And if you can quit this long term, you're a strong person. because it's everywhere, isn't it? It's all over the place. There's booze everywhere, every shop, every garage you go into, even a chemist I knew that had booze. But it's a place called Save. It's not a chemist, but Save it sells medication anyway. Over the counter, but they had bottles of wine there as well. What's all that about? Dr. Henrik, I got my first noticeable shakes last week. Anxiety being off the scale for months. Just had a confession session at the doctor's blood test in waiting for results. Has he suggested any treatment sort of thing? Hello, Becca. Nice to see you, Becca. Craig, Becca. Brian, I tend to drink when under pressure with a problem. It then became the main problem. Yeah, that was a bit like me. Every problem becomes huge, doesn't it? When it's not really. And that's another issue, isn't it? We over worry, we overthink, we get in a mess with it all. That's a problem. Thanks, Brian. Craig, welcome to John Doe. Hi, Steve. Hi, all. Nice to see you, John. How are you? I like your t-shirt. That's good. What about this carry on this war thing? It's the cost of living. Wow. Better, Brian. That's exactly what I did. Yeah. Under pressure with a problem becomes worse, and then the booze is the problem, isn't it? That's the issue here. There, I think. Sounds the money you saving is amazing and huge positive. Now I can have nice meals and other treats. I usually blow on booze. Yeah, of course you can. Yeah, I agree. Save a fortune, don't you? Danand, hi Steve. Hope you're doing well. Excellent, Danand. Thank you. Van Liff. Stop 20th of December for good. 40 years of hell. Hello, Steve. Well done. That's amazing. Keep it going. David Young, tell us how you're doing, mate. How are you living? What do you do in your spare time? What have you got plans for the future? Lots of plans. Too much for here. But if you want to know a bit more about what goes on here and behind the scenes, I shall fill you in on that number. But lots of things, yeah. A lot more positive than it used to be. Better coping mechanism that got out of control. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. Coping mechanism that gets out of control. Because it does, you see, it does mask a few issues. And that's why a lot of people can't give up, because they use the alcohol to mask the problems. But the problems are still there next day. That's the problem. We're all very similar. It follows a similar pattern, this, especially with anxiety. And then the cycle starts, like I say, you go to sleep, you wake up, you panic, because you have this impending doom of everything's going to go wrong all the time. And it's not really. 95% of things you worry about never happen. And I think a lot of us are pretty hyperactive, brains anyway, because we use alcohol to calm the brain. I certainly did. I was busy as 50 when I was younger. And I used to think, have a bit of a drink to calm my mind. But when you can relax with alcohol, you've really done well. Really have. At my height of drinking, I'd look for the highest percentage alcohol on bottles of wine in Aldi for the lowest price. Serious problem if you're doing that. Yeah, looking for the most alcohol for the least money, basically. I get that, yeah. Diet Dr. Pepsi in upstairs. So yeah, you've got to look at that. You look at your life and think, am I wasting my life? Because you've got nothing to look forward to. Like I said earlier, the only thing I can't do is drink. And I don't want to drink. It'd be great just to have one. But I've never done that. So get that out of your head. And there's a lot of people struggling with this. There'll be more as well because the recession is getting deeper, you know. You've got to be, it's survival of the fittest. Wow, thanks so much, Andy. Massive donation there. 1999, thanks so much. Such a help, thank you. That's really good of you, Andy. Appreciate that so much. I'm here to help, you know, and you know, keep in touch with the other people on here as well because there's a lot of experience in here, and appreciate that. Any support to the channel is hugely helpful. It keeps the lights on, as it were. As I said before, I think we're the only channel that do these lives. I think it's very helpful to have that that sort of group feel. You know, you can come in here and you don't feel judged. You can be open and honest about things, and you know, move on from there. Really, and it doesn't matter what you talk about, really, as long as you're sensible. You know, we've got a lot of good feedback in here. And thanks so much for your support there. Van Life, everything is better off the pop. The stress and issues are still there, but way easier to deal with for me by not being drunk every day. That's the thing, you see. this pressure is off, isn't it? The pressure is off when you're not boozing, because you haven't got this anxiety that you used to have, where um, everything was a worry. You see, haven't got everyone has worries, but it's not so. It doesn't feel so important. It doesn't feel like a massive worry, and that's very, very, very important that you don't focus on the negative. You've got to focus on the positive, and there's nothing positive from boozing. Nothing at all. It's all negative. You might think you're going to get a little bit buzzed, but I said earlier, when you come to the end of it and you're really struggling, then you feel no benefit. You just drink to survive. So you drink so you don't want to, so you don't get a seizure, basically. John, all good here, mate. Not caught you live since before you went on holidays. Welcome back, mate. Thanks, John. I haven't done a lot. I've been a bit busy with something else, but I'm back full on now. Thanks. I think. The zero alcohol beers or a getaway in my gateway. Oh, gateway. I've never found that. To be fair, I've been all right with the zeros. But some people, if you've got any doubts about it, just don't touch it. Simple as that. That's fair enough. Yeah. But I don't touch the alcohol-free stuff either. I'm not sure why. It just feels wrong. Yeah, whatever works for you is the main thing. Midnight, how are you doing, Midnight? Nice to see you. Jonathan, go in a pub 3 or 4 times without drink and your eyes open to how boring and sad they really are. Spot on, John. Spot on. Same crack, same table, same chair, same time. What a boring existence. And I was one of them for a while. Jackie, do you ever think that drink is more like heroin or cannabis? In other words, the more you misuse it, you become addicted. Probably. I've never taken any other drugs other than alcohol, but I know that it nearly killed me. So I think it's just the same sort of thing, really, isn't it? Same addiction, really. So the trouble is we become physically addicted using alcohol to self-medicate. That's exactly what happened to me. You drink a certain amount and you become addicted. It is a guaranteed chemical phenomenon of the human body. Yeah, I think you're right there. Jackie, so I didn't mean to send you smiling. Oh, yeah, no problem. That was accident, no problem. Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, so I think the heroin thing, cannabis, all similar really. But no, I haven't tried others. I know some people have done both, and some people have tried everything. But alcohol was enough for me, and I had far too much of it. The guy that was my best man who died a few years ago, he used to say to me, "If you carry on drinking at that level, this is when I was in my 20s, you'll not be able to enjoy your drink when you're older." And he was right. And lots of other issues because of the drink, but he was right in what he said. If we have no off switch, you see, most alcoholics start off with good intentions of having 3 or 4 drinks and end up having 15 and 6 because they've got no off switch. If you've got no off switch, then you're going to get in a mess on you. You'll generally find that most of us have drunk from pretty early age and quite steadily as well. But I haven't taken anything else. Either drink was my choice. Yeah, and me. I couldn't afford anything else anyway, even if I wanted it. I was always wrecked with it anyway. The hangovers I used to get, even when I was young, were really bad. Up and once I started drinking until it's gone every time. Yeah, I was a bit like that. Really bad, yeah. It's, um, it's once you start, you kind of stop. It just kind of stop. It's just like why can't you stop? That's another. Why can't you stop? It becomes like I said, habit then addiction, and it's just a very complicated thing. I know. Midnight, I admit that I replace cigarettes, not alcohol, with marijuana, and it works for me. It's fair enough, yeah. Whatever works for you. You've got to. I mean, all we're trying to do here, all of us, be healthy and live a bit longer, isn't it? And live a better quality of life. There's no point in living to 100 if you're not functioning. 80% of people in care homes don't need medical attention. They just have bad mobility because they're not strong. Becca, I've had enough of being alcoholic. Well, better text me on this number, WhatsApp me, and I'll see what I can do for you. Anybody else needs any help, that's the number. I should be able to pin it somewhere. If you do benefit from these lives, or you enjoy them, please hit the super chat link, as a few people have done, support the channel, or you can hit the buy me a coffee link. on the right because it's not monetized. So I think it flows better without adverts. I don't know if you agree, but I think it does. Hot potato, Stephen, I would not have left my flat until all slabs were gone. Really, I just kept buying more because I got this fear of running out. John, when you drink till it's gone, you still want more though. Yeah, exactly. Can't stop, can you? Again, the off switch doesn't exist. Transfer my cravings are so bad. I'm 3 months in now, but I still think about the booze a lot. So, what sort of cravings are they though? Is it cravings for the taste of it, or the feelings you get, or was it? I had no cravings in the end. I just didn't want to have a seizure, you know. When I was told to on chat, finally caught a live stream. Well done, Urban. I haven't been on that much since last week, so I've been a bit busy, but I'm back now. Nice to see you, Urban. Midnight, welcome, Urban. I'm so glad you made it. Yeah, got a few regulars on here, and it's nice to see people interacting because the more people get on, the more opinions we have, and the more we look at this very complex subject. You could talk forever about it because there's so many people affected by it at different levels. You know, some people are dying, some people are sober, some people are in the middle of it all. Most people are. A lot of people in grey area drinking where they don't really think they've got a problem. But if you're having a drink every day, I did a little video the other day, and you know, if you say to a lot of people, could you easily not have a drink for 7 days? They'll say no. They're drinking too much, aren't they? I crave the feeling of being drunk. It's hard to explain. Yeah, I get that a little bit. Yeah, I went past that, unfortunately. Super shattered. Hiya, super shattered. Somewhere along the line, I lost the ability to control my drinking and me, and carried on until I had lost everything. I ended up homeless. That was 17 years ago, and with help, I have not drunk since. Well done, super shattered. Round of applause there. Fantastic. Jackie Williams, Steve. I love you. I love you. Thanks, Jackie. Hot Penny, completely uncivilized. I did not matter what time of day at all. No, it's 24-hour drink, isn't it? So when our life today is bad enough when you're sober, being an alcoholic, life becomes a living hell. That's the best way to describe it, a living hell. You have no life when you're drinking an absolute waste of healthy body, and then you die. You die too early. Yeah, got that, Jackie. Thanks, Urban Angst. It took me a while to differentiate between the craving for the alcohol itself, its immediate effect, and the scene that occurs around it. Over a year into sobriety, I get FOMO on Friday. Friday is a terrible relapse day, and I always think, why is it Friday? Because really, if you're if you're in a mess on a Friday, you're gonna be a mess on Saturday and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and that's how it goes on. You know, it's it's just a total joke. I don't know why it's Friday, but I would say I work shifts for someone who did 9 to 5s, and I think, God, Friday. Oh, thank God it's Friday. There's even a radio program, and thank God it's Friday. You know, the Friday feeling. If you're missing out on nothing, by midnight they spend 100 quid, and you got 100 quid better off. Back how I've been sober, Stephen, 6.5 years, 7 years in October it'll be, which is good. But I feel this is the best time of my life because I've got an amazing partner. I've just got a better life. Everything's better in my life, much better in my life. Just fitter, stronger, have mental clarity. I'm meeting some wonderful people on here, which is yourselves. I've got a radio thing coming up, the newspaper article. It's a radio station called Dreamcatcher, so I'm doing a show on there soon, but I'll let you know all about that. Hot penny, I strictly drank alone. That's when it gets dangerous because you don't know what you're drinking then, do you? But I had two uncles who died because of alcohol. One drowned and the other kept drinking until it was too late. Jesus Christ, horrendous, isn't it? John Doe, okay, mate, hope you're well. Becca, that's really good to hear. Thanks, Becca. Nathan, how are you doing, Nathan? Honestly, though, staying off the spirits and just having pints would be fine, but alcohol is alcohol poison. I had that thought, you know. Even my parents mentioned, my mother actually, who's still alive in 94, nearly 95, said you'd be all right with beers and lagers because most of it's water. But you're not. So there you go. Thanks, John. Red Tiger. Evening. So true about the people pleasing. That messed me up. So much better now when I say no on occasions. That's good, Red Tiger. You've done well. Jackie, do you like philosophy, Steve? I haven't read a lot of it, but I don't know that much about it. But I've seen a little bit. Yeah. It's interesting. Hello, Neil. How are you doing? Um, so we said you have to get rid of the obsession, and by drinking zero alcohol, you're hanging on to the drinking life. Do you think? Yeah, you may be right on that one. It has helped me though in the past, so I'm trying to cut down. My partner's trying to make me cut down, so I've tried to cut down. I am cutting down. I'm not a secret 0% drinker. Um, Penny DT's took my nephew at 38. He was staying sober for Mother's Day. He died that night. Jesus Christ. Hi, Brian. Thanks so much, Brian. Brian's just bought some coffees there. Um, Amazing support, Brian. Thanks so much for that. And if you do want to help out the channel, then please do with a coffee or super chat. I really appreciate that. We've had some good donations tonight, and let's get more and more people on. Let's get more and more people sober. Let's go. The aim is to get as many people as possible off the booze and stay off the booze, and ultimately be healthy and live a longer, more prosperous life. Really, isn't it? Because the drink will just take you down, straight down into 6 foot under. Um, that's horrendous, hot penny. That. But I think there's a perception spirits are worse than beer. I agree. It might hit the liver harder initially, but it's still going to kill you, any alcohol, if you drink enough of it. Isn't it? Nice to hear other people's point of view. Thank you all for sharing. Yeah, exactly. We've shared a lot of information with you. Get some new people on as well. Oh, Penny, sorry to hear that. I read your story somewhere on another channel. Thanks, sub. Becca, I didn't drink spirits. It was cider for me. Terrible stuff. Yeah, some of cider is very chemical, isn't it? Based on chemicals. Charlie Wilson, Williams, you're cool, Steve. Thanks, Charlie. Nathan. Guinness Zero is so close to the real thing, but just not go down the alcohol line. Yeah, I see where you come. I do like the Guinness. Craig, that really is. Thanks. Samantha. That's very true, so we should have Samantha again. Craig, I've realised that the gym has helped me massively. Yeah, it makes a big difference. Craig, despite the Friday relapse, you'd be back. 0% ciders are good. Yeah, I've seen a couple of them. They are quite nice, aren't they? Anything to keep you off is the key, isn't it? Anything to keep you sober, keep you healthy, keep your mind alert, keep your body healthy, keep you focused, get you back on track, because alcohol will ruin your life. It's ruined ruins people's lives every day, isn't it? Every 10 seconds somebody dies in this world from some sort of alcohol related illness. You know, it's one of them things where you just kind of quantify how many people are dying. Really, it's got to be taken more seriously by us as well as the medical profession as well. Penny hugs tomorrow. Don't want to be a downer, but this is a killer, even for the young. 100%. You're not being a downer. It's proven, isn't it? It's proven that it's a killer. Gypsy Catcher, I really appreciate your videos, Stephen. They are a major source of comfort during the struggle. Thank you. Okay, thanks, Gypsy. There's quite a few new ones on there. If anybody wants to have a look, if you have any particular subjects you want me to cover, then just drop me a line. I'll do that. They would also have Corona Sunbrew when bottles are on special and come with a half price pizza. That's good then. But I do question the wisdom of it. Immediately makes me recall the good old days. Does it? It doesn't for me, mind. I think I hate alcohol now because what it did to me. It ruined my confidence in the end. And I think that was a problem. My confidence went. It became a shadow of my former self. It was really bad for me. I think I had every symptom going. Anxiety, the physical symptoms, the whole lot. But the anxiety was the worst. And that obviously loss of confidence goes with anxiety. Gibbs Catcher, loneliness and trauma drinking. Sorry, drinking is a big topic, I think. Okay, we'll have a look at that, especially the loneliness one. Because at night it's horrendous, isn't it? Chucky, the thing is, Steve, if we have sensory overload, which I find getting drunk every once in a while give my mind a break. Yeah, but I went from every day to one every few weeks. That's not too bad. One every few if you control it a bit, Thanks, SN. I did a community detox. That's good. And if you're off it, fantastic. Urban Corona Sunbrew is 0% alcohol, but even just the motion of picking up the bottle and taking a sip still triggers some kind of cell memory in the arm. Maybe, yeah. You never know, do you? There's so many different thoughts about this. Nathan, best to get to the gym, build yourself up instead of tearing yourself down. Yeah, go for a walk, learn to eat clean. Anyone struggling, keep going. Nothing good comes easy. You've got to work at it, definitely. If you have any liver disease, then muscle mass really, really helps you. Really, really helps you. Um, it becomes paramount as you get older to do some strength exercises. It doesn't matter how much, just get on it as soon as you can. Because, especially if you've got cirrhosis or anything like that, you need muscle on you. Your liver will work better if you've got some muscle. Get rid of the fat if you can. Gym definitely helps. The gym group, 1999 a month, you can go as long as you want, until 10 p.m. Some are actually 24 hours. Spend a couple of hours there in the day if you want. It's a good hobby. It gets you out of the house. It gets you meeting people who are similar. They're getting healthy. They're looking well. They feel well. They're saving a bit of money because they're not drinking all the time in the gym. Instead, you drink a lot of water. I used to go to a hotel gym. We used to take fruit in and all this sort of thing. A nice cheap day, isn't it? And you will see some positive people. Muscle memory, 100%. People sharing it's not putting it down on the chat. It's a fact of life, 100%. Samara, yeah, I agree. Muscle memory, definitely. Gypsy, do you think people with who you view themselves negatively are more prone to drinking, feeling worthless, leading them to drink more? I think you feel like that when you've been drinking. Even confident people start to feel worthless when they get into this habit, the addiction. Craig, Nathan, I agree. Jim's massive. I'll penny there's a 40-year-old tattooed face guy, exactly Stephen's situation. His umbilical hernia is still giving him issues. He's doing well, but it's just to say that this is the outcome. Yeah, it's not good, is it? Urban, Samara, so true. Sharing is a big part of realizing we are not alone. Yeah, I agree with that. For the positive reframe, I signed up for a mindfulness and relapse prevention class to focus only on the future. That's good. Using compensate, don't know how it works. Don't know if it works any use. I've never used it. I think that's the thing to stop the cravings, isn't it? If you do benefit from these lives, please help the channel out by hitting the super chat button, as a couple of people have done, or the Buy Me Coffee link is on the right there. And thanks to those who have contributed. It makes a massive difference to the channel, gives it a big boost as well. Also, if you like the videos, then like and subscribe them, share them, because there's lots of people who've got problems who don't come on here. Maybe they don't want to, or they feel a bit anxious or whatever, but get them on if you know anybody. Midnight, yes, walking is one of the best exercises. It is mine. Didn't cost you anything, but your time. My doctor is very happy I walk everywhere. Exactly. It's very good for you. It really is. Jackie, Steve, your channel is amazing. There's no other self-help channel that's so flexible. Thanks for sharing. No problem, Jackie. You're welcome. My advice is do not pick up that first drink and keep connected with other alcoholics. So there's 100% success rate. Yeah. Keep off the first one. The first one's a killer, isn't it? The first drink is the one that's going to take you down. But like I said, I get asked a lot when I do these one-to-one. I do one-to-one mentoring, and it really helps people. A lot of people sober by changing mindset. It's all about mindset. When you realise that first one is going to end up in disaster, you've got to focus on how it'll leave me. But if you want any help with that, get in touch with me. The first one, definitely. Even Gaza, the footballers, used to say that, didn't he? Don't pick up the first drink. Some people binge drink every Saturday night for years and seem fine. I have to keep going on Sunday and then into the week. Yeah, we're different. I said before, we get terrible hangover withdrawals. We drink again, hair of the dog, to get over that. And so the cycle begins again. Sleep, wake up, panic, and drink. And that's all you end up doing. And you can't do anything in your life. When you're drinking heavily, you can't actually do anything other than drink. And when you're sober, you can do anything, but you can't drink. I'd much rather have that way around, to be fair. I've done more in the last couple of years than I've done the last 25, last 50 40 anyway. I mean, I started drinking when I was about 14, a long time ago. So, there are people who can binge it. There are people who can drink more than myself, I used to, and they have no problems at all, They have no problems at all. Thanks, midnight. It is true you can't do anything when you're drinking. Nobody's got any respect for you, really. It's still a stigma with the medics, isn't it? It's getting worse. People are getting less and less help. I speak to people every single day, hundreds of people a week who've got problems with alcohol, and they all say they're getting less and less help as time goes on. That's the first point of contact. Even I know people have been taken to A&E with lots of symptoms, had seizures, and they've been discharged 5, 6 hours later, which seems ridiculous. Have a seizure in the high street, drop a couple of Valium in, and I send them home. That's what's been happening, and that's what happened to me 25 years ago. So nothing's changed; it's got worse. Recovered drunks have always been my favourite people. They are special, like foxhole buddies. We've seen something not everyone has. Yeah, it's a good point there. Urban transport. I was still having fun and ignoring the increasing warning from my body until my pancreas began chronically inflaming. My body certainly kept the score. Wow, well, I was avoiding it. Yeah, I've just done a video about that. Signs of signs of drinking too much. Gypsy, I've been very disappointed with the NHS. Most people have been. It seems to be a very cold system of not taking you seriously until critically ill. Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. I didn't get any help until I was borderline dying, to be honest, which is not a good situation, is it? And I know lots of people, as I said, could be in A&E with serious issues, and they've been discharged 2, 3, 4 hours later, and they've had seizures when they've left. I've got evidence of that. Sometimes I've relapsed a few times, but it's only ever one session. My body rejects it now. I'm doing well now. 3 months, no drink. Well done, Chance. Keep it up. For goodness sake, keep it up. So the hardest part is being strong enough to turn down the first drink. It is, man. That's so true, Simon. Sometimes the overwhelming craving to have a drink puts all rational thoughts out the window. Our brains are too complicated. Yeah, that's relates to that video I did. The mindset of an alcoholic. The rational brain says don't have it, and then the alcoholic brain says, well, just have one, try it again. It's constant conflict. Alcoholism is constant conflict. So I started by drinking my 20s. I got bad and I was abused. I self-medicated. It makes me remember how I can be drawn into it. You can easily get drawn back in. That's the problem, isn't it? Becca, I wasn't treated well by the NHS either. No, it's horrendous. Very judgmental. 100% Becca. Nathan, I found the AA nesting total waste of time and me. Jackie, do you think Valium makes you want to drink? No, I've only ever got it a couple of times on prescription because it was trying to get me off, trying to stop the withdrawals being so severe. Frank, I'm okay drunk, but still want to stop the madness and stop drinking. You've got to pull yourself around. I'll put a number on here again. Really want WhatsApp me. Because you have to get off it, otherwise you're going to die. I think that's the message to me. I've got the message. I know that it will take 20 years off your life, and the rest of your life will be pretty poor. So many deaths and strokes and heart attacks and disablements, as it were, linked to alcohol. People having accidents, suicides, all sorts of carry on. Urbanized, you've done the hard work and more work to come, but you will become more regimented in dealing with intrusive thoughts and cravings. Yeah, well said. So I said, even though I have been sober for 17 years, it helps me to be in this group as it keeps me grounded. Reading the comments reminds me where I was on my recovery journey. Thanks, so much. That's good. 17 years is amazing. Thanks, so keep it up. Yeah, keep it up. You've got to keep it up. It's got to be a hard no. Yeah, you can't even risk. You can't. Why risk it? Why risk a drink? That's another thought, isn't it? You wouldn't risk jumping over a plane with no parachute. So, you've got to rationalise it a little bit. But you will have this conflict in your brain all the time. Nathan, the government have to do something about the NHS and the need. Education, alcoholism. Yeah, I agree. I'd like to be able to get into schools and things, or universities, and tell people how bad it is. Because I did try and get a visit to a liver ward through the NHS to try and take people around, but they wouldn't let me, obviously. Confidential, isn't it? If you took a load of 18-year-olds around a liverwort, they wouldn't drink that night. I know that. Oh, thanks, John, so much for that super chat. Fantastic donation. Alcohol addiction isn't taken as seriously early on as Class A drugs addiction by the NHS, unfortunately. Cheers to you. Yeah, it's a good point. This first point of contact, as John was saying there, alcohol addiction isn't taken as seriously on as Class A drug addiction. So other drug users, i.e., people take cocaine, heroin, so forth, will get much more help when they go to the doctors initially. I agree with that. Thanks, John. It's a very important point there. Even when you push it, I've tried to see I've got two different doctors trying to get diazepam back in 2014, and they wouldn't give me it, which is absolutely horrendous, isn't it? You know, I just I cannot fathom why they're not doing it, because it would save them more in the long run. I just think it's one of them things where you cannot keep ignoring it forever. And if you do, this is what's happened, isn't it? You're getting more and more problems in society, really. Thanks again, John. So which does you well to stay grounded. You have to keep grounded. Yeah. Thanks for that, Penny. Nice. Hard no is a good way to think of it. Yeah. Well, I would sometimes say out loud the word nope when a sneaky thought happens, or I pass by one of my old pub places. I just turn my head and say nope. Yeah. Remember the times when you felt ill is the key. You know. How many people bristle when I point out that alcohol is a drug? Well, it is. It's a serious drug, isn't it? It's a big kill. It's the biggest killer. It kills more people than heroin or any other drug, isn't it? Brian, I went to a number of AA groups and found one that wasn't full of repetitive old soaks. The problem was the religious thread. Yeah, the religious thread was something I couldn't get around at all. Jonathan, people cut down. Well, if you can, yeah, a lot of people can't. That's the problem, Jonathan, isn't it? Naomi, non and me. Hello, my boyfriend introduced me to this channel. I enjoy your videos and it's been very insightful. I've gotten the ball rolling for detox today. I wish you and everyone else here well. That's brilliant. So who are you getting the detox to? No name, if you would mind sharing that, because it's very difficult to get a detox in the UK. Someone, Jonathan, easier said than done. That's the thing. It's easier said. It is, yeah. You can't just cut down if you're an addict. Chance. If you circle up pushing drink on you after you're saying no or taking the piss, they aren't your friends. Of course they're not. They're idiots. They want to see you fail. So keep away from them. Keep away from negative people as well. They'll bring you down. The smiling assassins, we used to call them, the police. Like Penny, alcohol as a beverage used to be, yeah. Well, it was in the old days, wasn't it? Gypsy, was there anything that allowed you to stop losing complete hope during your darkness, during your addiction? Hope really is everything in life. I lost hope when I wasn't getting any better when I first went to hospital, but something, I turned a corner a bit. Something just happened when I had a little stent put in my liver. Even that didn't work. And I don't know, I started to eat more. I focused on eating as much as I can at the time, that I could at the time. That was what tipped it for me. Then eventually I started to walk a little bit. I couldn't walk, 5 years ago. I thought we pushed around a wheelchair. So when I was quoting the average GP, definitely, yeah. So I trust they don't understand alcoholism. They're ignorant. Sometimes it's not their fault. Yeah, they can prescribe things, read books, but an alcoholic is the only person who understands an alcoholic. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, you know. Urban, Brian, in my area, someone started a group of secular steps program, and they are still able to book at the AA meeting room. So, no name, NHS, my local community drug and alcohol service. That's really good. Have you got a date for that? Because I know a couple of guys that I've spoken to in the north can't get in anywhere, and they've been to hospital a couple of times with seizures, injuries, all this sort of thing, and then they've just been kicked out, been booed out, which seems kind of productive, really, because they'll get worse and it'll cost more to get them right again, if they ever do get right again or want to come back for help, you know. Not everybody asks for help, you see. I didn't even know there was help there, to be honest. I went to the local community group place, but it didn't do me any good at all, you know. Gypsy, the sad thing is when you have a negative encounter with a doctor, then they lack empathy. It can really stop you ever wanting to seek help ever again. That's so true. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. You give up, don't you, on yourself when the doctor says no. Brian, thanks, and I read the secular 12 steps. I didn't get into all that, Brian, but I presume it helps some people. Or any friends who sabotage are like trolls that show up on sobriety channels. I agree. Idiots, basically. Um, so only an alcoholic knows what it's like to be an alcoholic. Outsiders haven't got a clue. I agree with that, yeah. Only we know, all of us as a group, know how each other feel. A doctor can't help you with that. No chance. Unless he's been an alcoholic. Unless he is an alcoholic and he's sobered up. Because most doctors drink, don't they? Who's going to say we'll cut down? They're all going to say, Nathan, doctors see this day in, day out, so they're so cold when they give you bad news, but they're hardened to the situation. Yeah, so isn't it bad news? Sometimes all you want is a bit of help, really. Because I know, and the Samara knows, that 5 days worth of diazepam will stop you serious withdrawal, stop a seizure, prevent a seizure. And that's what a lot of people are frightened of. So which I had my son who was in the madness for many years and ended up in hospital many times with seizures. Now 7 years sober, and he can get to visit me on Sunday, and he looks so healthy and fit. That's fantastic news. That's good. Really good suicide. Urban doctors deal with the after effects really with the prevention. That's a good point. But they didn't deal with my after effects as when I was in a mess. I had anxiety, couldn't walk very well. I was, I had the sightless fluid and all of this. He said, go to this community hub, and it was full of other people who were probably just taking different drugs to me, really. Chris Gans, how long were you sober before you tried to get a zero? Not that long, actually, because I used to drink something called Erdinger, which was a zero. I can't remember when Guinness Zero came out, actually, about 2 or 3 years ago. But anything non-alcoholic, just sort of, because I'm the habitual drinker, it sort of fills that gap, So it's weird how it does fill it for me. I never ever get any cravings to start again. I never drank for craving the alcohol. It was the only emotional reasons I drank for, really. When I relapsed, I relapsed 4 times. And the last one was the last one. That nearly killed me. So I was sober for a while, but I started had other types of. There's quite a few different beers you can get now with zero alcohol. But thanks for the question, Chris. Nathan, I used to shake uncontrollably when I woke up with alcohol in my system. Happy to say I'm 2 years clean. Fantastic. You must feel much better, Nathan. So the AA book is actually good, but a lot of the group I went to didn't follow the book. Okay. Thanks, Joey, for that. Hopefully there was really nothing magical about how to get sober. We complicate the hell out of it. It's the terror of contemplating a life without alcohol that slows you down. So it wasn't that bad, but it's the terror of having a seizure. But I do get you. When I was younger, I did get off for a little, I tapered down a bit. I didn't get off completely off it. And I wanted to be part of the gang again, if that makes sense. I am Mark, let's say. So it said grand mal alcohol seizures can be life threatening. I'm glad you found out. Yeah, that's what I had. Yeah, grand mal. And tonic clonic was well, whatever that is. Jackie, I was told by the head of AA I'm not an alcoholic, which is fine. But, well, I don't know how they've got the expertise to say that. Jonathan, John, to Nathan, congratulations. Well done, Nathan. Jay, if it's causing problems in your life, yeah. If it's causing problems in your life, we've got alcohol problems, haven't you? That's a problem. Do something about it, Jay. Definitely, we've got to do something about it. You have to turn it. Only you can turn this around and turn it, turn your life around to sober life. Only you can do it. You can be told by various people, family and friends. Other people will know. You can hide as much as you like. You try and hide it, sorry, but you can't be able to hide it very long. You'll find out. Because it's so easy, isn't it, to find out? Go in the bathroom and cough every time you open a bottle and all that. It's so difficult to hide it as well. Up any super shares, thanks for sharing about your son. That gives me much hope. Yeah, once you get over the initial stopping, then you've got to focus on the next step, which is staying sober. So that's the mantra of my channel has always been: get sober and stay sober. The longer you're sober, the more chance you have remaining sober. That's the message really here. I do hope these lives benefit. And if you want to support the channel, please hit the super chat button or the coffee link. With a couple of people have done. A few people have done actually. I had a lot of help tonight, which is great, and it keeps the channel moving along very well. Because we all have individual histories, only we can understand the emotional triggers. It's what mindfulness speak called the lead up to pick up. Really, that's good. That's interesting. Individual histories. Yeah, there's always a story behind the story, isn't there? Gypsy, I would be so grateful if in the future you did a video about not losing hope in the situation. Okay. I've done quite a lot of positive ones, but I'll get you. And how even the darkest of times you need to keep going, just a session for a video. Okay, Gypsy, thanks for that. I'll have a look at that. Mark, I went to AA, but never worked out for me. Didn't speak in the meeting. Was too self-conscious to share my emotions. Trust issues. So I didn't get anything out of AA, but I got so myself. 16 years. Well done, Mark. Keep at it. I think you're pretty much there now, aren't you? That's really good news. 16 years, 16, 17 years on here. It's amazing. Jackie, we need to make sure alcohol does not fuck up. That's important. Yeah. You cannot let it take over your life again. Jonathan Gould, imagine if GPs told drug addicts to just cut down. Yeah, exactly. When have you heard a doctor say, "Oh, just cut down the heroin"? It's stop, isn't it? But with the alcoholics, moderate, taper down, go and have a drink. Make sure you have a drink so you don't have a seizure. That's what they tell you. I've been told it myself. Crazy, isn't it? Chance if I crave a drink, I will always remind myself of a hangover from hell where I couldn't even or leave my room. Yeah, that's what you got to do. Focus on the bad times. So I only developed a problem in my, I don't know what that is, my 30s, is it? Thanks, Jay. Your 30s, yeah, I've got you. So an alcoholic will throw problems, even the kitchen sink against the sober. Like I said, our brains are too emotionally complicated. They are. I agree with that. Hi, Catherine. How are you doing? Thanks, Jackie. 30s. And they say, Catherine, hard penny A never hurts, but not always a good fit for some. Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good place to make contact with people. And certainly, you won't feel alone there, will you? That's very important, isn't it? GPs are sure you want to turn in that direction. You want to turn in that direction. I haven't got much. I mean, I've got a friend who's a retired GP. He just said he got out on a stress ticket. To be fair, he said it wasn't the job he joined. Same with anything, isn't it? The pressure they're under and that sort of thing. And you must see so many people with alcohol problems, with all sorts of problems. They just keep coming in and keeps trying to get them to go to the community centres. It's just a revolving door, isn't it? And a lot of people, even people who've had liver transplants, 10, 12, 15-hour operations, where there's a high percentage of them dying on the slab, will drink again. Private detox is massively high failure rate there as well. It's all up here. I'll teach you to teach you. I'll tell you how hard it is. George, if I can get my head on the pillow tonight without having a drink, then it's been a good day. Yeah, you have to break it down, as Super Shadow Dad said, to one day at a time, even though it's been off years. And every day is a good day when you are sober. I can say that hand in hand. Brian, my doctor asked me how much do you really drink, and I said as much as you. As much as you. He looked shocked and insisted I could down. That's a good one, that much as you. Which is you. Nathan, I find it hard when you're on holiday and not have a drink. That's the only time I struggle. Yeah, I get that. It'd be great to. I've just come back from South Africa with my partner and think, well, wouldn't it be nice to have a drink? But if I didn't have a drink, I'd drink the bar dry and I'd be on the cycle again, Sorry, a lot of slop gets filtered into the meeting. That contradicts the books. Oh, I can imagine. Yeah. Numbers, how are you doing? Every day is a good day when sober. It is mine. It's funny that, isn't it, but Brian? How much you drink as much as you? Gypsy, how would you compare how you deal with problems that arise in life when you're sober, when you're not when in addiction? In addiction, don't deal with anything. When you're sober, you can deal with anything. So you can't deal with anything at all when you're drinking. You can only get out of bed. If you do, it's a bonus. When you're sober, you can deal with everything to some degree. You can't, solve world. You can't solve world peace or world wars, but you can do a lot when you're sober. You can't do anything in addiction because the addiction is your life, isn't it? It takes over your life. takes over your focus. And you're raising debt, I suppose, which is your reason for being, isn't it? So, there's no comparison, to be fair. Well, if we've had a good chat, just about an hour and 10 minutes. Huh? Alex, what was it about alcohol that you liked and pulled you at the beginning, Stephen? A good feeling, gave me confidence when I was younger. But I think a lot of people would say that it was my sort of comfort a little bit. I thought, this is quite good. Everyone else did it. You follow like sheep when you're at school, don't you? And you just think, oh, I'll have a drink, and you feel good. And it's everywhere, isn't it? It was everywhere even when I was younger. And as I drink, I work, I get up for work, but I can't stop having a few after work is my problem. A lot of people are like that. That's a habit, wasn't it? Problems grow exponentially when you're drinking. They do. That's a good point. Any advice? If you text me this number, I'll have a word, or WhatsApp me or something. Whatever you like, text or WhatsApp. I'll have a chat with you. Okay. Problems are manageable when sober. Definitely. Jackie, I don't like the label alcoholic because of the ideas with it. Should be just called alcohol problems. Yeah, maybe alcohol. Yeah, alcohol depends. The alcohol problems. Okay, more. Even Steve, hope you're well, pal. All good. Okay, hope you're well. 2. Nothing else. Numbers. That's what happened to me going after work. Yeah, have a few drinks after work. It's like a reward, but really you just poison yourself. Let's face it, we all loved alcohol too much. That's why we are here in the chat. Yeah, had too much of it. It was good. It was good at the time, wasn't it? Mark, there's a stigma being alcoholic. 100%. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up tonight because we've got a couple of things to do. Thanks for being here. Thanks so much for all the donations and the support. And let's do another one tomorrow night because it's been quite lively at night. Yeah. And I'll see you tomorrow. I think. Anybody got any questions? You know my number. And I'll pop on tomorrow night and do another one because there's a lot to chat about. It's been a good crack tonight, so we should have that all the time. We do normally have a bit of a laugh as well, which is good. Keep it lively, keep it sensible, and keep it serious, and that's the thing. A bit of a mix, really. There's a few new people as well. I'll put a little post on Twitter as well. 7:30. It's always 7:30. If you want to come on, if we get support, we'll do them all the time. Simple as that. Because I think it helps people. It's somewhere to come, somewhere to have a chat, somewhere. Good night, Samantha. I'll speak to you soon. And thanks to everybody who's been on here. And thanks to all who've contributed in whatever way. And stay safe. And remember, we're here to get healthy. Thanks, Jackie. To enhance our lives. Hopefully meet somebody nice. Share your life with somebody. And enjoy yourself. Because you're not here long. Nobody's here long. I hope everyone's all right. And I'll see you tomorrow. And thanks to you all.